In the first episode of this series, we learned how Gary's wife, Liz, made her transition from government to operating an organic bed and breakfast and also becoming a plein air watercolor artist. In the second episode, we heard about the beginnings of Gary's book, Pathways to Stillness, a book about how you can find your own ways to meaning and peace in these very turbulent times. In this third episode, guest host Don Hemmings speaks with Gary and Liz about how they support each other in their respective efforts. This series is also an example of how older adults continue to learn, grow, and age meaningfully. Gary's book is available at Amazon, Friesen Press, and Indigo. Gary's website is pathwaystostillness.org. We say, what's the biggest challenge that people are having? It's meaning and purpose. What do I get up in the morning for? I mean, we can have health issues, we can have relationship issues, we have big changes that occur to a lot of us. But I know so many people who have money, they're for whatever reason not doing their main career anymore, and they don't know what to do. And that's a pretty serious part of ourselves that we don't spend enough encouragement, education, sharing with others to help them find I totally agree with you, Liz. People have to find it in their own way and at their own time. But just to have it more out there in our culture, available to people, I think is really important. Those people that will be mentors to each other for anybody who's willing to listen.
Right.
And I think it starts with yourself first. Being with yourself, knowing yourself, getting to know yourself. When, in your busy career time, you didn't have time to think about yourself at all. And then reaching out, a connection to a friend or your partner. And I know that Gary, have helped me in my bed and breakfast, the best bathroom cleaner ever and the best barista. But I'm the frontline person, and I've encouraged you in your book to not make it an academic book, but to make it a everyday person book, so that the general population can understand it and get something out of it instead of academia, although they can as well. So I feel that we've supported each other in that way.
Yeah, definitely. It's very true that Liz is the person on the ground.
On the street.
Like even this workshop that I had planned to do, and I realized myself after the write-up was not right for that, and so it didn't go, which is okay too. People say, "Oh, I heard you were doing a workshop," and they don't even care whether it took place or not. They say, "Oh, this is a real interesting topic," So all of it contributes. But Liz very correctly pointed out this description. I can help you with this, and she's right. So it's some of that I'm open to and need to go to you even a little more than I do probably for that perspective.
I'm the everyday Joe.
Well, so am I, but I learned all the big words. So.
See, if the two of you weren't here, you wouldn't have had that discussion. And that's what I like about the spontaneity about audio. This is about as authentic as it can be. Mm. And unfortunately, we can't meet enough people in the world to have authentic conversations. But by recording it, it can go everywhere today. Yeah. So easily. So I'm impressed with the both of you that when it came time, or when it comes time for retirement, there is no lack of ambition to continue what you've done. You've already said it. Liz, you became an artist because you wanted to, even though you had fear. You have a B&B that occupies your time as you're going through your career and still allows you to continue. So many people, like you explained, Gary, at the end of the line, they have everything they thought they wanted, and they have nothing. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, the two of them show up in the kitchen. Who are you?
Yeah.
And what about, place, people, social? All those things are going through each other's mind. They don't even know how to communicate it.
I believe that you have to have your own interests, and then you come together again at the end of the day and say, hey, this happened to me, and I did this, and you listen to your partner's thing. But it's it's very interesting. I think it's like being 18 again, or a butterfly that's been in a cocoon, and all of a sudden you're a butterfly and you're free to do whatever you want. And that is such a wonderful, freeing thought that you could do whatever you want to do.
Good attitude.
If we don't mind, there's one other point that I think would be useful here, and that is part of what we're talking about is control. In our culture, we always think we can fix something, we can control it, we can buy it, or we can hire an expert, that we can always fix things. But what happens to a lot of us, as either younger or older, but a lot of us as we get older, we encounter these experiences that we can't control, whether it's health, sometimes it's finances, relationships, as you're pointing out. And that's a lot of what I wrote this book, Pathways to Stillness, for, is to offer a reader a third way. It's actually a fourth way, because we say we're hardwired to fight, flight, freeze, right? Those are the three strategies. But I think there's a fourth one, which is follow. That partly comes from Tai Chi, but not necessarily. And that's learning to let go, to give in. Giving in is a strength. Letting go is a strength, not a weakness. And that's a transition that a lot of us have, especially if we're driven a lot in our careers. And then all of a sudden, what do I do here? Who am I? Where am I going? And that can be offered as another way to look at that, to say, I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to somebody. I need to look at this in a different way. So I just offer that as part of this.
Well, the letting go, we could be here for another 2 hours or 5 hours. That's the biggest challenge for every human on the planet.
Right.
And to listen as well. So you rated yourself as 2 for acceptance of technology and awareness of the world. You're nowhere near a 2. You just have to post more.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm not 2 anymore. Like I say, my students have evaluated me quite a bit higher than that now. But
very good.
Yeah,
that's that intergenerational thing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks.